Apparently, you can get a dopamine release just from being in the forested areas. This isn't much of a forested area, but there's lots of plants out here, so it must count for something. Flannelanolanolines, I think they're called, or something. They talk about it in Pokemon. I only know that because my girlfriend showed me. I don't do the Pokemon. More of a Silver Hawks kind of kid. If I was still a kid. But I'm an adult now, so I have to think about adult things. Like how the other adults are destroying everything. Ruining the very genetic code of life itself. What kind of monsters are you other motherfuckers, hey? Oh, I just ruined the video. I was trying not to swear in this one. I'm just so mad, even when I'm relaxed. Because this stuff's great. Why would you ever poison it? It doesn't make any sense. It's so nice. Some kind of psychotic... Just, what did your parents do to you as a child that made you so rotten? Sounds like an airplane race or something, I don't know. Can't see anything. Dandelions. These are the crop of the future and the past. It's the now that's all fucked up. Oh. Look at them nice looking weeds. Weeds are some of the prettiest plants we have as far as I can tell. Tasty fruit from nature. Oh, a farmer field that isn't dirt. It's all grass. Over here we have a farmer field that is half dirt, half grass. I don't know if their crop is grass or what, but they sure have a lot of it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe I just misunderstand modern farming altogether. You don't get the bigger picture, Steve. Alright, okay, I'll try to see it. Every time I see it, it looks a little uglier. I don't know how many more times I can see the big picture before I finally just go crazy. Because there's two different big pictures, I think. There's a man-made big picture, which is all messed up. Involves a lot of those fences and gates. And then there's like the bigger picture that is supposed to be all it is, which is just sort of like this. Lots of life, consciousness, things striving for the sun. Everything is reaching against gravity, against all odds for that crazy thing in the sky. What gives us something to work with? I guess, I don't know, it's a star, they say. Makes sense, I guess, yeah. Soul, our sun, oh goodness, suburbia. Just, oh, so triangular. Pitched little roofs, identical little houses. The same little cars. You can gauge a man's sense of importance, his sense of self-importance, by the material pleasures he layers upon his life. Those who think they're extremely important require extremely fancy items. Different items from what poor people can afford, because that's what makes them different. Not who they are, but what they own. Your material possessions they're designed to look like something you can relate to on a personal level. It's designed to look like a reflection of what you think your mind should be. Whether you're predatory or passive. If you're predatory, go buy a sports car with that mean face on the front. Eyes, eagle eyes, you know. If you're passive, go buy a Volkswagen Beetle. It's got a nice friendly face, little round eyes, little smile, no teethy teeth in the grill. If you're an intricate, complicated person, you'll probably be drawn to Linux, because you don't want to use Windows. That sort of thing. Even the Indiglow in a watch. You like glow-in-the-dark stuff? Check out our watch, it glows in the dark. Your mind glows in the dark. You're the only Indiglow thing you should be paying attention to. There's supper, if I was to be so inclined. But I can go to the supermarket and purchase meat, so I wouldn't really feel it necessary to pluck meat from the wild. They have enough problems to deal with without me preying on them. What the fuck? Ant hills. They don't look like ant hills. There's no ant hill entrance. But it looks like ant hills just the way they're constructed. Oh, there's the entrance. My little kingdom, look at them go. Ants are amazing. We think they're savage little creatures, but if you watch a line of ants working, you'll notice each one greets the other as they pass. How many people in the city greet each other even with a nod as they pass? How many people do you nod to that just try to ignore you? Don't even want to say hello. What kind of fucking person is that? Bunch of grumpy gusses. Love ants. Ants are an incredible insecticide for plants and too for gardens. If you have any kind of aphids, any kind of parasitic plant-eating animal in your garden, if you get a bunch of ants in there, they'll eat them all up for you. Ladybugs too love preying on the little guys that eat our food for us. So I don't understand. A lot of the times when people have ant problems, they don't realize they have some form of sugar easily accessible to the ants in their house. That's why they show up. So if you remove their food, they'll just go somewhere else. And if you show them where food is, say in your garden, they'll clean it out for you. You don't really have to do anything. And once the aphids are gone, they'll move on. I've done a bunch of stuff with them. A lot of different plants I had were getting eaten by a variety of different bugs, and I tried smoking them out. I tried watering them out. I put orange juice on them. That worked a little bit. But when it came right down to it, it was these little guys that just cleaned the whole mess up. Saved my tiger lilies. I love tiger lilies. They're nice. Very beautiful plant. See if we can get in there. Into the little world. If only we could go into their world for just a moment. What kind of drugs would that take? You guys built in kind of a crazy spot because we're on a road. Maybe if you built a little over there, but that's your choice. This is probably only one entrance anyway. It's strange, this wasn't here a couple days ago. They're pretty industrious little fellows. Over here we have another one, I think. Just have to adjust something here. Don't want to get caught up on little details, so we'll keep moving. The old man's beard. That stuff does not grow only on what is it, the south side of a tree, they say, the moss and old man's beard and that sort of stuff. This stuff here only grows on the south side or some shit like that, or north side. That's not true. Moss grows on whatever side of the tree it really feels like growing, so don't use that as a compass, you'll get really lost. I don't even understand what these tractor prints are, but it's pretty crazy. It looks like someone was hot dogging. That, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Here we have a beautiful rectangle hole, perfectly dug into the earth for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe they're gonna put a tree there, a rectangle tree. There's a lot of those. You can see them all around you. All these rectangle trees. I love how rectangular everything in our world is. Well, when you look at it, I guess they are rectangles. Long and thin. That one isn't. What the fuck are you doing? Get with the program, tree. I'm just kidding. Oh. Are they ovals or are they rectangles, or is that just madness that we've invented to try to cope with what everyone seems to be calling fractal design, non-linear thinking? Can you hop from point A to Z without going to all the in-betweens? The in-betweens are there to help you get to there, but can you jump? Everything's related to everything else. Everything directly affects everything else indirectly. My basic philosophy for if something's safe to put into the world is, would you put it in your fish tank? Stainless steel couplings are okay to use in the fish tank. Aluminum is not. Tin foil is not something to put in the fish tank. Your fish will die. Would you put pharmaceutical drugs in your fish tank? What do you think that would do? And on that note, our food is filled with what they call fillers. Corn syrup, wheat gluten, dextrose, whatever. All those fillers takes away from what should be there. Oh, nice big dirt pile. Oh, look at that. Some fucking successful farmer. At least his dandelion crops are doing well, I think. And buttercups. We got a lot of buttercups, a lot of dandelions, not a lot of food. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I don't understand it. There's a method to their madness or something. I was saying the other day, Adriana and I were talking, that it seems they put so much effort into farming that it just stunts the plants. And the more I tried to make my own plants at home grow, the less they would grow. And the more I just left them alone outside, the hardier they would get. And just, so it's like, we put effort into farming, and we get that. So we decide to put more effort into farming. We get more of that. And we keep putting more and more effort into something that just isn't working. This whole idea of do it till it happens is just ridiculous. If you're not getting results from what you're doing with effort, try a different effort. Try less effort, maybe, even. All this stuff that you're seeing right now didn't have any farmer working it. Nobody's been tilling this soil. Nobody's been spraying, well, they have been spraying weird gas on this just by default because they spray it on the fields around so it travels with the wind. I mean, the reason they didn't like gas warfare in the first two world wars is because you'd launch a canister and the odds were good that it would just blow back on your own troops. So why are we okay with spraying everything around our towns with this stuff? And the girl at the hardware store, I really wish I got this on film, but she told me that she's a university student who also sells pesticides. studies some university course. It's got to do with the earth, I guess, if they teach that sort of thing in a classroom. She said all these pesticides being used go directly back to the world wars and the gases they developed in them. So everything we're spraying ourselves, or rather our farms with, was used originally to kill people. You're eating that. It's water soluble, so it means it washes into the dirt. And then the plant drinks that up and it becomes part of the plant. Water soluble just means it mixes with water well. It doesn't dissolve into nothing. It mixes with the water. Then the plants drink that water up where it goes down to our water table. And then it infuses into the plant. And we eat the plant, obviously, because we're farming it for food. And then we eat the chemicals. These are the chemicals that cause this on me. You can see that has continued to grow over the last couple of days, this dead spot on my hand. That's the area I put salt in. Put salt into the wound and it seems to have stopped it, but outside that area is now rotting. I haven't gotten a checkup yet because all the medical places were closed over the weekend. I don't really expect much to be done about that, but whatever. You do what you do, and if you die while you're doing it, I guess you die. Come back as a ghost, haunt the shit out of this place. The apple orchards. A lot of grass. That's some fine grass you're growing, Farmer John. That's the farm that poisoned me. Huh? This is their grass. That's the field they were tilling that day. I don't see anything growing in it. Yeah. They got, for whatever reason, they're planting plastic, I guess. It's the crop of the future plastic. This grass, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it looks pretty tasty. Is that wheat? It's got some kind of big old seeds on it. Whatever it is, it's farming itself quite a bit better than the farmer is. You can see where he drove his tractor through it. And we're about to get to the field where I got gas. Gonna go take a look at the crop there, see how it looks. Apple orchards, which they're cutting down at the top of the hill so they can put in a new suburb division. Estimates are saying there's going to be 300 houses or so packed into what used to be an apple orchard. Why do we need to grow food? We need people to go to work in offices, stupid. I don't even know where the fuck all these suburbanites work. I live 100 kilometers away from the nearest city, and there's just this huge flood of suburbanites coming, and I'm pretty sure suburban people all have to have more than minimum wage jobs, and the only jobs I know of around here are being a farmhand, being a farmer, or working in one of the little stores for what I presume is minimum wage. So I don't know where all these suburbanites are working, because you need a nice job to have that house, to have those cars, to have those kids dressed in those clothes that all cost $100 for a fucking shirt. That's retarded. Did you know a wool blanket and rope will do everything a full set of clothes will do? There's that little pond. It's covered in some weird shit. Might just be pond scum, I don't know. I can't get down there really. It looks like a lot of wetlands. If you've ever been in wetlands, you'll know. It's like walking into a death trap. Get sucked down in there and no one will ever find me. Kinda makes me wonder if they're leading me out here just to bury me in the bog. Become a mummy. Never reincarnate. Haunt the heavens forever. Just like the pharaohs. We're almost to the place. Just a little bit further. Farmer provided this nice road for us to walk on. Oh, those plants aren't doing well. That's the first wild plants I've seen that aren't doing well. But we're starting to get in range of where they were spraying the other day. Maybe these just ones are too exposed to the sun. They seem kind of crinkly. No. Oh, the grass. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So, wild, sort of wild. Probably too exposed. That's the one thing I'm noticing is the more open ground you have, the less plants will grow. Oddly enough, marijuana is a plant that loves open ground and helps build up a small canopy for the rest of the forest to develop when it's time and ready. So in theory, all these fields are primo for growing weed. Primo. I guess I should have just gone that way. Well, we're taking the long scenic route now. Do 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 do. Fiddlehead adults. Yeah, there's a lot of fiddleheads grow around here. They're tasty too. I don't suggest eating them because Farmer John's spraying everything. Like everything. Turns out, when I did a little research on, I still haven't found out what they're spraying, but what they use for pesticides in this province, by Canadian law, in Nova Scotia by the way, the stuff they spray on our crops, they also apparently spray on the forest around us. So even if you move to the forest, you're still going to be getting fucking bullshit pesticides sprayed on you. So here we have the crops that got sprayed. You can see they're singed, they're dying. In a way, the tips are burnt off. Might just be from being exposed to the sun. I'm pretty sure these aren't plants that you want to have just directly out in the sun. But if they are, why are they yellowing and burnt? Now we see weeds. Holy shit. This weed literally has holes burned through it. That's what your pesticides are doing to you. All these little plants got these burn holes in them, but then check this out. No burn holes. Little burn holes. Burn holes. Burn holes. Burnt plants. This hay probably absorbed a shitload of it. I don't want to touch that. More plastics. Whoa, weird head rush going down. And then, oh, I've been curious about this plastic farming concept. Looks like they're getting something out of it. Looks like the birds are getting something out of it too. I wonder how much of these little bits of plastic end up flying off into the wind. Yeah. Hey, you must be a pretty good farmer if you need to coat the land in plastic to get something to grow. It's not like life just happens on its own magically, you know? You gotta fucking get in there and mess up some genetic code. What's this stone all about? Actually, that gives me an idea. I'm gonna collect a couple stones, wash them off in a bucket, see what comes into the water, and I'm gonna pour it on some of my lawn at home. See what happens. Here we have some wild weeds growing. More wild weeds, lots of wild weeds. Should probably just eat the wild weeds. I need to do a little better, but that could just be my opinion. It's just your opinion, man. Remember, opinions aren't real. Facts are real. You either have a full bucket or you don't have a full bucket. It's as the Celtics used to say, I guess. The bucket's either full of water or it's not. You cannot change the truth. Your opinion means very little to whether or not the bucket is full of water. Sure, you can think the bucket's full of water, but when you get there for a drink, you're gonna be fucking thirsty when you find out it's not. So, we need to stop with this opinion bullshit. It's just another infection of self-importance. If you made it this far in the video, consider checking out the Egyptian deity Apep, A-P-E-P. Connects to the archons the Gnostics speak of, the flyers or the mud shadows in the hive mind that Don Juan Mateus speaks of. Something is making us stupid, and then we're doing all we can to make ourselves even more stupid. I'm kind of worried that this is all connected to the transhumanist movement, which is trying to turn a bunch of us into zombies basically by giving us brain damage through the wheat gluten, the corn syrup, the dextromorphines. It's been proven to rot your brains and your memory center. So how are you gonna think when your brain's all rotted out? This whole new age movement's the same thing. Stop thinking, man. Don't think. Don't let your thoughts get to you. You're a thinker. You control your thoughts. You generate your thoughts. Send your thoughts out to change the world if you know how. Join Thought Gang. We're just thinking. We're not really doing anything. Anyways, I'll cut it off there. I think I've seen enough today.